All right, ready?
Hell go. Yeah, let's go, baby.
Let's go. Today I'm here with Nick Landell. Nick and I met probably about 2 years ago, and it has been a great relationship. Nick, you turned into a really good friend, a business partner, someone that we're starting to build together with that I think there's a long-term future. We are excited. Me, Vito, you, we're doing some great things and excited to have you on today.
Thanks for having me, man. I've been both excited and nervous about this for a little while, but more on the excited side.
Good. Yeah. So you slept last night?
Like a baby.
Let's go. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
So, well, I slept on the couch, but it was comfy. I had the fireplace on. It was unbelievable. So I want to just give some background about who you are, where you came from, where you grew up, and then we're going to dive into our business and how we help our business partners and agents we work with, how we work with borrowers, how we educate them, and we go through our sales process and why each little step is so important for delivering a great experience and to make it a smoother process, which makes it enjoyable. Because our goal is to take stress out and actually make home buying fun. Mm-hmm. A lot of people can't say that. So we're going to dive right into it. Where'd you grow up? Before we even start, actually, you're working at AFC now. You're a loan officer. You're kicking ass. You had a monster year last year. You're building from here. Yep. But where'd you grow up? How did it start?
Grew up Higganum, Connecticut, right? So small little town in central Connecticut, just south of Middletown. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know where Higganum is, so probably a lot of people. Yeah,
well, it's part of East Haddam, right? Or you say that?
Yeah. So
did you lie to me?
No. No, East Haddam's the other side of the river. So you have like Haddam and Higganum, which is closer to Middletown.
It's on the river though, Connecticut River.
Yeah.
So nice place to grow up. Do you enjoy it?
I appreciate it more now than I did then. Mm. Yeah. Great place to grow up, but like I said, looking back, I'm like, man, I was lucky.
Why?
Good schools, right? As much as I did, like I said, didn't appreciate it back then or value it as much. Great community, small little town. I'm not, maybe because I grew up in like not a big city, but I'm not a big like city guy. I like to go visit, but like 2 stoplights in the whole town, it's one of those towns where like everybody knew everybody. Or if you didn't, you knew of them.
How big was the town, do you know, population-wise?
Ooh, I don't have that one off the top of my head. But I'll put it this way. There was like 2 stoplights in the whole town.
Yeah.
I think there might be 3 now.
So small, underdeveloped.
Yeah.
Love it. How far from Middletown? It's the biggest probably city.
10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
It could be 5 minutes if you're closer.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, but like 5-10 minutes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So you went to public schools K-8 there.
Yep.
What'd you do growing up?
It was just be home before dinner. Outside all the time.
Really?
Yeah. Me and my brother, playing pickup basketball, riding bikes around the town, getting my ass kicked in all the sports by him because he was 4 years older than me. So I was always like the underdog, which I think served me well later in life.
I love it. Yep. Did you and Steven both go to HK, Haddam Killingworth?
Yeah. He spent a year at Xavier, actually, freshman year.
He didn't like it?
Hated it.
Really?
Hated it.
Do you know why? Xavier's an all-boys high school.
Yeah. He's not the biggest on authority. We'll put it that way.
Yeah.
He's a little stubborn.
Yep. That is so funny.
Yeah. But then, yes, went back to HK for the last 3 years of high school for him.
Did you ever think about going to Xavier?
No.
Didn't want to?
Nope.
Okay. I went to Fairfield Prep. They were a competitor. We were all boys. They were all boys. So interesting.
Yeah.
Why not?
I never had the desire to do it. And I think I always looked up to my brother, right? And he would say now, or like maybe he wishes he stayed there for like sports purposes.
Yeah.
Because like as much as surprisingly HK had good, like really, really good baseball program, like one of the best in the state for that size school, if not the best. But Xavier was a bigger school. So at the time, the classes were like LLL, if you remember.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. It's different now.
Yeah.
But it was a like probably higher level of athletics, and both me and him that was basically what we were focused on.
Yeah.
School should have been a little bit more. We weren't like the worst students, but the focus was on athletics.
What did mom and dad do for work?
Mom, kindergarten teacher.
No way. In Haddam?
Middletown.
Okay, yep.
30 years. Still doing it.
Wow.
She can retire, but she
enjoys it.
She likes it. And she's like, I still like the kids. And like, God bless her. I've been in that classroom with 20 of those kids running around. I don't know how she does it.
That is so funny.
Yep.
Good for her.
Yeah.
And dad?
Dad, crane operator.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who does he work for?
He just retired last year, but he was with Eversource Power Company for the last 15 years.
Wow.
Before that, so it was a crane operator for them. Before that, worked for just like crane companies. So he worked on like the Big Dig in Boston.
Yep.
Worked on some of the skyscrapers in Hartford, building those.
Awesome.
Yep.
So you and your brother are both big sport guys.
Yes.
You after HK, so you go there. Did you play varsity baseball all 4 years, 3 years, 2 years?
Halfway, like 3.5 years. Yeah, varsity.
Awesome.
Yeah.
You went to do a junior year, right? Or a post-grad year at Avery Point?
Yeah, it's technically like junior college.
Yep.
Yep.
Do you like it? Where is it?
Groton, Connecticut. One of the most beautiful campuses you'll probably ever step foot on. It's not like the college experience where, you have it's super small, but the campus is right on the water in Groton. It's like its own peninsula. And it used to be owned by like a really wealthy family, like an estate. And then UConn bought it years and years back. But like literally it's like on the water. There's a path around the whole campus that you could just like walk. Wow. And you're right on the water. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Is it still a junior college, or is it part of UConn fully?
It's always been part of UConn. So for some academics, like people, so it's for marine biology is like the biggest thing there because it's right on the water. They have like this giant building. It's like state of the art. So for things like that, it's a 4-year school.
Gotcha.
And then other academic programs as well, 4-year school. But as far as sports goes, only 2 years.
Yep. Okay, that's a great part of the state when you get to Groton all the way to Stonington.
Beautiful.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, a lot of my friends that I played with were locals, like Stonington, Mystic.
Really?
Yeah, like a good portion of them.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so they would always they showed us all the spots because I wasn't from down that way. Like not that I didn't know it. Connecticut's not that big, but it was nice. Like I never knew like how nice downtown Stonington is.
Oh my gosh,
beautiful.
The quaintness of it is unbelievable.
Yeah, love it.
I've been dying to go to the Stonington Inn for an overnight there.
I haven't been.
Oh,
yeah.
And neither have I, but I'm excited to give it a shot.
Yeah, let me know.
Anything at HK or Avery Point that you learned or that kind of shaped who you are today?
If I could sum it up into one brief story. When I was at Avery Point, the best, probably one of the best coaches I had in my career, Roger Bidwell, built the program from like nothing.
Yep.
And he had offers to go be a manager in like minor league systems, and like he put people from a junior college like into professional baseball. Like built this program. It was a top 10 JUCO baseball team in the country every year in Connecticut, which is a big deal.
Yeah.
You're talking like
versus Texas, Florida.
Florida, yeah, like huge JUCO schools that are like feeders to these big Division I, Alabama, LSU, like so like the level of talent that you're competing with is top tier.
How do you do it? Any idea?
He always loved, the reason why he never left is because I think 2 reasons. One, and this is a little bit of an assumption, but he built it. It was his, right? And he was also the AD. So he kind of ran everything.
Yeah.
And then 2, this was a conversation I had with him. He loved the level of impact like he could make, like the development, where players were when they came to him, and how much he could help develop them to get to the next level.
From 18 to 20 is a big deal.
That was his thing. And he was if not the best, like one of the best at it.
That is awesome.
And the biggest lesson I learned from him was we'd always have our end of the year meetings or season meetings, whatever. And the whole idea of going to a JUCO is so you can get to Division I, right? Like get a Division I scholarship. I could have went out of high school to plenty of Division III schools and some lower Division II schools for baseball, like, given like scholarships or, academic money in the form of like athletic scholarship. But I thought like I wasn't anywhere near my ceiling, which is why I went there. And I would always talk to him about, hey, like how do I was always looking at, I wanted that Division I scholarship. And he's like, Nick, there's nothing wrong with like planning and looking ahead and having that goal. He's like, you should. But if all your focus is there and not on today, he's like, you're never going to get to where you want to go. He's like, try to get 1% better every day. How do you do that? Focus on that, and the rest will take care of itself as long as you're willing to work at it. He's like, think about it. It's hard. Like, even on a bad day, did you get 1% better today? Is there one thing you got better at? Because there's a lot of tough days in baseball. It's a sport of failure.
Yeah.
So I've taken that with me in everything I've done since then.
Love it.
Yeah. Baseball, life, mortgages.
That translates into a lot of things we do.
100%.
Well, like, without a doubt. Is he still coaching there?
Nope. Retired, not the AD either.
Yep.
But no, yeah. So my second year there, so my last year there was his last year. We were his last team. Yeah.
No way. Oh, so he's been out for 8 to 10 years.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you ever talk to him?
I see him here and there if I go to like Avery Point stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he was old when I was there. Like still completely with it. Like and in shape. But he's older now.
You should hit him up after this.
I should.
Like right after this.
Talking about it, like
after this podcast, send him a note, give him a call.
100%.
Awesome. All right, we'll make that as a task.
Put that in Jungo.
Yeah. What are the standards that he had? There had to have been something. What did he want from the players and the team? Did he have anything that was required?
He valued people that wanted it. And like if you wanted it and you really, really wanted to work, like he'd be down at the field with you on a Saturday or Sunday. Like he always extended that option. Like, and he would send a message out to the team. Cages are open, shed is unlocked if you want to get like extra reps in, whatever. If you wanted to do extra work on a Sunday, like he'd be there to do it. So he would help you in any way he possibly could if you were willing to work, and he valued that, and he would give you opportunity because he saw the work that you were willing to put in. Right? And obviously performance is a huge piece of it. If you're doing all that work but for some reason not performing, like you got games to win, and as much as that was his second priority. Winning was his second priority, and the guy won. Yeah. A ton. But because his emphasis was on development. So it's like, if I can develop my players and give them all the tools they need to get better, the winning's going to take care of itself. Right?
That is awesome. And that, too, translates to business. If you can, first off, he was leading.
Yep.
He was always there. And if you could give your team the tools to succeed and develop them into leaders, you don't have to worry so much about the scoreboard. I think it'll take care of themselves, or it will take care of itself.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a great experience. I went there as like an underdog. I knew a lot of the people there, played against them in high school. I was always a really good athlete, but I had a lot of development left to do. And so going there was not a sure thing. There was no scholarship, it was just like, you're going to have an opportunity to earn a spot on the team. Because like the guys I was going to play to compete for spots there with my teammates, but they were like all state players in high school, all shoreline players. Like I didn't earn any of those accolades in high school.
Really?
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Wow.
As much as it was like such a big part, I didn't put up the stats. I wasn't a stats guy in high school.
Yeah.
Really good player, helped our team win a lot of games, but wasn't a stats guy.
Wow. But you got better at Avery Point.
Yeah. All those guys that were better than me in high school, I took their spots, for a lack of a better term.
Really?
Yeah.
And then you end up going to Central.
Yep.
Did you get a scholarship there?
Yeah.
Wow. So you played baseball there.
Yeah.
What position?
Shortstop.
Always shortstop.
Yep.
Interesting.
Took pride in that one.
Let's go. I love it. Who was your idol growing up?
Ooh, growing up when I was young,
Trying to think.
Nomar Garciaparra.
Yeah, so you're probably a Sox fan for where you grew up.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't watch any sports anymore.
Neither do I. I forgot who Nomar Garciaparra was until
Yeah.
you said it. Oh my God.
Yeah, but he was part of that, like,
07 team, I think?
no, 04.
Oh, okay.
I think he actually left before 04. I watched a documentary recently, and it was about, like, all the stuff that went on leading up to, like, the 04 season and, like, Red Sox management, because that was when Billy Beane
Yep.
from the A's, like, was, like, rethinking how you can win games through all, like, the stats. And
Yes.
and then the next person to implement that, like, on a major scale was Theo Epstein,
No way.
right? Theo Epstein?
He's with the Cubs, I thought.
He was with the Red Sox.
Oh, and then, okay.
Yeah. I might have the last name wrong. Shane,
Yeah.
you get it.
Yeah.
In
I'm
fact,
not gonna know. No, it's right. Theo Epstein.
yeah, Theo Epstein.
Yeah.
But there was a lot of, like, struggle involved. And I watched a documentary on it. I wouldn't have remembered this otherwise because I was so little
Yeah.
to, like, understand any of that stuff at the time.
Wow, that is awesome.
Yep.
So, Sox fan, you played at CCSU. How was that? Our buddy Dean Lockery was there. Same
Yep.
year? Or he was a little younger than you?
No, we played together.
Gotcha.
I was there, for 2 years. He was there since he was a freshman.
Yep.
But yeah, me and him played shortstop, second base, up the middle for 2 years.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Yeah, it was a good combination.
I played with Dean at Prep, at Fairfield Prep, and he's a hoot.
Yeah.
He was a good player, but he's a funny guy. He's the best.
Yeah.
Such a good dude.
Awesome dude. Really good hockey player too.
Yes.
At Prep.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a big state championship his senior year that he won.
Yeah.
Buddy of ours hit a game winner in OT.
He did.
No, I don't
No.
think he did. Vinny DeMore did.
You guys won though.
Fairfield Prep
Yeah.
when I wasn't on the team, but
Okay.
yeah, we if you count me at the school.
I mean, yeah,
That
You're the-
student section was rocking.
You're
though.
there supporting, yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing better thinking back than, like, high school student sections.
Mm-hmm.
Getting to play in front of that as like a
Oof.
16, 17-year-old kid. Awesome.
Unbelievable.
Awesome feeling.
So you live at campus, or did you commute from home?
No, I stayed on campus at Avery Point and at Central.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anything at CCSU that you want to know, or was it just a good time and you enjoyed playing baseball?
It was a lot different than Avery Point. A lot different. Both in, like, some good ways, but also, I guess, maybe some not so good ways. But they treated us great. It was like the Division I experience. It was awesome. We always got treated well. We stayed in nice places. Food was always catered, taken care of. Like, they took care of their guys.
Awesome.
Yeah. The emphasis on development maybe
Not as
was
much.
not as much.
Yeah.
But it's a different level. So
Yeah.
with different level comes different priorities. Not that, like, nice hotels and meals are the priority, but it's, I think, more so on winning. Yeah.
And it's probably more money and monetary than JUCO. There's got to be some component of that, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a state school, so
Yeah.
not as much, right? Because it's different with private schools. I would say it's probably more monetary focused with private schools.
Yeah.
Just because of, like, how they go about their funding. But still, yeah, there's still plays a factor.
Yeah.
I would say.
So after CCSU, you get an independent ball.
Yeah, like I had a great sophomore year at Avery Point. And that allowed me to get to Central and even, like, have some very early looks from affiliate organizations. Like, nobody was going to draft me after my sophomore year. I was tiny. Like, I didn't really grow into, like, my body until I was probably, like, a junior, senior in college.
Really?
Yeah. But had a great sophomore year. Went into Central in the fall, had a great fall. But my junior season was not great as far as offensively, like hitting. It was always great defensively.
Yeah.
Senior year, average. Just not good enough to get drafted. So was beat up after the senior season. We won the conference, awesome. Went to regionals, went to TCU down in Texas, but was beat up after. Took a few months off and was like kind of reevaluate. And I was like, I want to give this another shot. And I started training again, going to pro ball workouts to try to get signed, and then eventually got signed.
Where'd you start?
When I started playing,
Where'd you start in independent ball?
Puerto Rico.
For a year?
Yeah.
What was
lived
it
down
like?
there for a year. Totally different, as you could imagine. I mean, still part of the U.S., but like totally different culture. It was like me and there was like 4 other.
In Pablo?
Yeah. Yes, yeah. The whole team was Pablo. Pablo Sanchez from Backyard Baseball.
Times 4.
No, but there was only like 4 other non-Spanish people on the team because they only allowed so many.
No way.
Yeah, non-Spanish speaking or non-Spanish
Per team?
per team. So
Were all the teams in Puerto Rico? Or did you have to travel to like mainland U.S.?
no, we traveled all throughout Puerto Rico for the first year.
Yep.
Yep. So it was great.
Where'd
Awesome
you live?
experience.
What part of Puerto Rico?
It was this small little town, Aguadilla.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it was west side of the island.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you learn Spanish?
Being down there, and our manager, spoke Spanish, all the guys on the team spoke Spanish. There were guys here from the States, but they were also, either from Puerto Rico or other Spanish countries. I understood it. I started to understand it a lot better than I could speak it. And I would speak it pretty well, after being down there for a while, basic stuff I could get by. But understanding it, I got a lot better at.
Were you the whitest guy on the team?
No.
Oh, really?
No.
There was a redhead. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's great.
Yeah. Close, but no.
Yeah. So Puerto Rico for a year, you come back, you play, you told me about the Empire League. Up
Yeah.
and down the East Coast. You do that for a year and then you get hurt?
Yeah. Yeah. Total played for 2.5 years, halfway through my second year, which was frustrating. I was having a great year.
Really?
Yeah. Made a big jump, just performance-wise. My game made a big jump in that year. The first half of the year had a great year.
Why'd you have a great year?
The preparation leading up to it. Never worked harder at anything in my life. And I worked really hard in college to win spots and beat people out for positions.
What did you have to do to be successful that season? What did it require?
It was leading up to the season. My mentor in baseball that got me to the next level, Roberto Mena. He played for the University of Tampa, played pro ball. He had a gym facility in North Haven, and he trained me. He helped get me to the next level. It was a guy who had been there, played at a higher level than I had, and could teach it at a really high level. Right? Just because you can play it doesn't mean you can teach it at a high level.
Yep.
And that was pivotal. And I think the biggest thing was just mindset. I never worked harder physically, but I also never worked harder on the mental side of the game.
Explain that. Unpack that.
Baseball is, if anybody that knows, most sports, as much as they're physical, there's an entire other side to it. It's you can be the most gifted athlete, but if you don't have it mentally, there's a lot of gifted people that are just freaks at what they can do physically. But in baseball, it's known as a 5 o'clock hitter. It's so if you have 7 o'clock game, you're taking BP, right? Batting practice, and that guy's just home run, home run, home run. And then he gets in the game and it's strikeout, strikeout, strikeout.
Yeah.
Right? So that's not having the mental side of the game down. You can have all the tools, but just mentally being, whether it's resilience and dealing with failure or making adjustments. The biggest thing is making adjustments. Great players, good players make adjustments game to game. Great players make adjustments if you're talking about at-bats in baseball, at-bat to at-bat. And the best, Hall of Fame, they can make adjustments pitch to pitch.
That's unbelievable. if we talk about making adjustments, I'm gonna write a note down and come back to that about our day-to-day with mortgages. You talked about mindset. Is there anything that you did, physical or mindset, that during that leading up to the season, the preparation, where you did things you did not want to do, but you had committed or knew that you were the person that had to get it done? It wasn't an option to do it.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things was belief, like just truly believing in myself. And it was as cliche as it sounded, it was like burning the boats. Nothing else mattered. I did nothing else. The facility, I lived there. Like I slept there some nights. It's like I'd be hitting at 10 o'clock at night and there'd be a snowstorm outside. And that was all I did. And I was working there too. So I was like teaching strength and conditioning classes and working on like my game with the guy who owned the place. And like that was all I did. Rinse and repeat.
That is unbelievable.
Every day.
How can you not get better if you're doing that every day?
Yeah. So that carries me today as well, like in business, in mortgage.
Discipline, you definitely have that, and I can't wait to talk about the week-to-week adjustments that we're starting to do, and we'll come back to this right here. So you end up getting hurt, you end up, COVID around this time hits, and you get into power washing.
Yeah.
You start working for someone else, you do it for a few months, I think, and then you go out on your own. And you start doing power washing. Do you do painting too, or just power washing?
First year I did it, I did do like painting, like exterior stuff like decks.
Yep.
And I did it 1 year, I'm like, I'm never doing that again. Power washing only.
Wow. Painting stuff?
I hate it. Hate it. Yeah.
What about power washing?
Much more scalable, I would
Really?
say. Yeah, just you can get more done in a day. Quicker, I guess we would think about it as like a sales cycle. You know, like a painting job may take weeks, week. You wash a house in a day, right? So.
Yeah. How long did you do it for?
All together, because I did it, power washing, I kept it going while I was getting into mortgages to support myself. Because like in mortgage, you could take a draw, as you very well know. It's just like, I never want to do that. It's like, I'm gonna eat what I kill. So like never took a draw and still did power washing while I was trying to build my mortgage business, which it was hard. It was really hard because I went from like I built the power washing business to I had like 2 or 3 employees, like one like full-time guy and then 2 or 3 other part-time guys.
Yep.
But once I transitioned like out of that full-time into mortgage, it was just me doing everything because I wasn't taking enough business to like pay other people, right? Or where they could make it, make actual money to like support themselves doing it.
Yep. How'd you get into loans? Well, you said your sister-in-law and your aunt were already in the mortgage business.
Yeah.
How did you get into the mortgage business?
So they were always in my ear about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I came to the conclusion I just didn't want to continue with the power wash thing. And I wish I did things a little differently, but got a story for another time on the power wash. It's in order to like potentially like actually sell a business. But I had no idea. I was like, I'd never run a business before.
Yep.
But they were in my ear about it, and I just decided I didn't want to continue with that. So I was like, let me give this mortgage thing a shot. And to be honest, it was like, you can make really good money at it. And that's what had me.
They told you that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you said, screw working outside, I'm switching to this business.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Yep.
So you get in the mortgage business, you start working in Guilford. How'd you end up down there? Did you know someone or?
It was a contact through my sister-in-law who just like, she knew somebody who knew somebody, and I just like reached out. I was like, hey, I'm a newly licensed loan officer, like looking to work somewhere, and went in for a couple interviews, and then that was it.
Boom, you started.
Yeah.
When you started, what was onboarding and training like? Because it's not an AFC.
No. It was a good place to learn.
Yeah.
The basics of like mortgage, like people that if you don't know anything about mortgage, and like I didn't even know mortgage had a T in it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't know anything. I had run a business, and that taught me a lot about like sales, marketing, and dealing with problems. Right. Like especially like being the business owner. But it was a good place to learn the mortgage basics. I'll say that. Yeah.
mortgage basics, meaning how to underwrite a loan, how to qualify a borrower, things of that nature.
Yeah. Basic guidelines, debt to income ratio, all the basic stuff that goes into just like structuring a loan today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What did you learn about the mortgage business in the first 2.5 years before we connected?
Yeah, good question. I think,
Besides, it's harder than everybody thinks.
yeah, I learned that in the first 6 months. When you make $0 in 6 months and you're working every day at it, it's tough. But back to your question, I learned the process, simply put. So the same thing kind of like we teach borrowers now, clients now, is like, hey, like what does the mortgage process look like? I learned that, just obviously the internal part of it and how it should be done, like the timing of things, all of that. So like bringing a loan from start all the way to getting it closed and all those in betweens, that was probably the biggest piece that I learned in the first 2 years.
And that's so important because you could read books, manuals, SOPs,
Yeah.
but you really need to then see it actually evolve.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that can come up that derail the process.
Yeah. Every time it's a little bit different. Every client's a little bit different. So how do you best, the best way to like navigate within something is knowing how it works and understanding the process and like how you can make adjustments within that process to get that end result, to get that good result, to deliver a good experience, to make sure that the client's taken care of, and to build relationships. That is part of building relationships. It's not all of it, but like delivering a good experience and helping people solve problems will help you build relationships. So it was like a foundation of mortgage is the way I would put it.
It is so hard to learn that while trying to generate business when you were in your first couple of years because you're in survival mode.
Yeah.
And one thing that I think the business doesn't do a good job of is bridging that gap for new people, which is why the industry is so old, which is why the average age is like 55 of a loan originator, because you need to have income coming in or you need to have a spouse that can support you. It's hard to do it fresh out of school unless you live at home, you have low expenses. And one of the things that Vito and I are starting to build out, we already have it up in our goals this year in May to make our first hire, is to build out that junior program where we could bring someone out of school from college, pay them a base salary for 2 years to learn the business, ramp up, and then actually grow a pipeline of a team that will be long-term, able to stay in the business.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we've had people here where it's like they come in, you're full commission, and I don't think draws work, by the way, but you're full commission, and you don't have money coming in. It's very hard to say, I'm going to stick this out for 2 years with no chance of seeing the upside.
Yeah. Yeah. I wish I had a lot of things that like when I came to AFC, and we'll get into that, but what you just described, if I had an opportunity like that getting into the mortgage business, I wouldn't have needed to supplement with power washing, and I could have put all my time, effort, and energy into learning mortgages, building my business, and my business would be further along at this point. Because mortgage is a business of like compounding effort and like not months of it, years of it to be like real successful at it. But it like years. So if I could add 2 years of that, I'd be much further along.
That is so spot on about the compounding efforts, because years 1, 2, and 3, you're not going to see a lot of results. Years 4 is when things can start taking off. And June's going to be my 6th year in the business, and it's just getting bigger and bigger every year. And then it's learning how to delegate and elevate some of these top guys say, and it's where can you hire and then better spend your time, and so that you're not staying flat, plateauing, and on a treadmill. Why'd you stick it out? Why did you stay in mortgages when you didn't have any income coming in? Because for this day, I always,
Yeah.
recently I've been thinking, it is hard to say I'm waking up every day at 5 a.m., then I'm going to eat super clean, then I'm going to hit the gym, then I'm going to go in and I'm going to make my calls.
Yeah.
If you don't have a long-term vision of what am I doing this for?
Yeah.
In 20 years, what do I want my life to look like? If you don't have that vision, that goal, it's so hard to do the day-to-day things. But if you can wake up every day and say, this is what I'm planning for, I can't wait to be here in 20 years, it makes it easier.
Yeah.
Why'd you stick it out?
So first of all, I did go into, as much as I didn't know anything about mortgages, I knew enough based on like the research I did, the people I spoke to, that it's a long-term play, right? It's not a quick money play. And I also think it goes back to everything that led me up, everything leading up to mortgages, like, baseball and, starting my own business when I never started or run a business before. And it takes a lot of work over a long period of time without seeing results. Those are the things worth doing. Right? Those are the things that have the biggest long-term upside.
Say it again.
So things that just, if we look at, and there's nothing wrong with like working, a 9 to 5, like both my parents did it, supported me and my brother, and gave us everything we could have ever wanted and more, right? And we're great parents. But that's different than, I would say, like that 9 to 5 perspective is much different than our business, where you're going to do a ton of work and see very little in return. But if you stick it out and keep learning, developing, growing, your return is going to be 10x. So it's understanding that it's a long-term play and being okay with not seeing results right away. When I was, to kind of relate it back to baseball, I wasn't always like the best, but I had times where I made these big jumps in my game, in like how good I was, my skills. And it's the same thing with mortgage. It's like, even now it's like I'm trying to get to the next level, right? I'm super thankful for like 2025, but it's like, okay, I want to get to the next level, but it's probably going to take a lot of work that I haven't previously done, or a lot more of what I was previously doing, to see that big upside. And that could be another 2 to 3 years. Right, to see like that huge upside, that 10x upside. Not that there won't be progression over the next 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
But it's like, how do you go from round numbers 200,000 a year to 500,000 a year? It doesn't happen in a year.
2 to 3 years it can.
2 to 3 years it can.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
How did we meet?
We met kind of indirectly. We were both part of a coaching program. And I saw you were in there. It was like a nationwide coaching program. Like, who's this guy? Like, there's another guy in here from Connecticut? Like, hell yeah.
Yeah, there might have been 600-700 people.
Yeah.
And there was like 3 people from Connecticut.
Yeah. And then like, just you reached out to me on Instagram it was like a week later.
Yeah, because I looked and I saw you, and then I think I looked at your Instagram and you're posting video content. I'm like, oh wow, and he's a young guy like trying to like build. I'm like, let me reach out to him to connect. I don't remember what we said, but we ended up setting up lunch.
Yeah.
We got together in New Haven.
Yep.
You were living in Middletown, I think, at the time.
Yeah.
Working in Guilford. We met in New Haven. We chopped it up. I don't even remember what happened after that. Do you?
It was a little like back and forth. Just kind of, I think, getting to know each other a little bit more.
Yeah.
And yeah, we met at Shell and Bones, New Haven.
Yeah.
And then it was maybe like a month, maybe 2, and then I came on board here.
Yeah.
You wore me down with the follow up.
The persistence wears down resistance.
The persistence, the follow up, yeah.
Oh my God, I love it. I've got so much follow up after this. I'm so excited to go do, but that just fired me up a little bit. You come on in September, so you finished the year with us in 24. Last year, 2025, was your first full year with AFC.
Yeah.
What have you learned at AFC, or what do you think we do differently than the other place you've been? Because that's the experience you have.
Yeah. The building your business, right? There's like two pieces to mortgage, right? There's like what we talked about earlier, the learning the the foundation, the mortgage basics, like how to structure deals. But then there's an entire other side of it of sales, marketing, building relationships. That is what, in my experience, you guys help me develop and do better than anybody that I've dealt with.
Yeah.
And I have like family in the mortgage business, so like I talk to them. They've been to a bunch of different shops, and it just seems like, and this is through them, not directly through me, but like it seems like it's just a lot of the same. You know, it's like if you can find a place that has a good process that like doesn't mess up your loans and make people angry, it's like, all right, that's a good place. But it's like that doesn't teach you how to build relationships, market yourself, sales side of things to build and grow your book of business. That's what you guys, I think, do better, that AFC does better than anybody else.
We're younger, right? Like from where you came from a place that definitely had older, more established people.
Yep.
Me and Vito got in the business in 2020. Our dad started it. I'd say I'd run more of it now.
Yep.
And Vito does a lot of our content and more business development is what he does, and relationship management. And that's what it is. It's a business of relationships. And I think we do a great job of building relationships. And we care about people.
Yep.
And the reason this all comes together and makes sense, we talked about a little bit earlier, is you have a 20, 30-year vision. Everything is made with the decision of not today, not tomorrow. Like you screw something up and it sucks. Like it eats me away. You're the same way. Like I lose sleep about it. You know, I got an email last night. I'm like, oh God, like how am I going to correct this?
Yeah.
Not because it makes you look bad, but it's like you realize like one, you let someone down, but two, the compounding. If you ever look at Warren Buffett's net worth chart, it all happened from like the last 10 years, you know, is where the majority of it is.
Yeah.
And so we think about relationships the same way of compounding over time. So if you could pour into people and you could to past clients, to business partners, over time that will only grow. And we're still in like the first inning.
Yeah.
The first inning of 9.
I truly learned the value of building relationships when I came here. 100%. And how valuable that is. Pouring into people and helping them. And you taught me this. And it's super simple, but how can you save somebody time, save somebody money, or make them money? If you can do one of those 3 things for somebody, that is a start to, that is the type of relationship that people want. Right? You're helping those. If you can help somebody do one of those 3 things, they're going to be forever appreciative of that.
The worst thing is somebody calls you, you pick up the phone, and they have nothing to say, and they're checking in, they're following up, and they're literally just going to ask for business.
Yeah.
You want to call someone. It's great to build rapport. That's important because you work with people you like.
Yep.
So you ask, you know, because you care about them, the family, the weekend, anything exciting coming up. But then you need to then deliver value.
Yeah.
You got to give them something, a tip that makes them money or saves them time. You've got to invite them to something where you could build a relationship further. Then you could go over maybe the pipeline or ask for business once you've earned the right through giving them something that will make them money or save them time, or a service you could provide them like a content day, a business spotlight, or invite them to an event which will help them make money and meet more people and grow their network.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. And people are dying for relationships, they're dying for community. So if you could provide that, it will only help you grow your network as well. And I think a big thing that me and Vito, especially me, that I moving forward, which is so important, is helping our team, the guys we work with, the girls that are eventually going to work with us, grow the gap of income and expenses, take that money, invest it, and grow net worth over time. That's going to be the most successful thing. If we can help our team build net worth over time, that's what the real goal is.
Yeah.
Long term.
Yeah. But so you said it, like delivering value. I learned like how to deliver value because when I first got in the business, it was tough. And it was also like partially just like reluctance. You don't know what you don't know, like call reluctance, whatever it may be. But like I'm asking referral partners for business, but like what, besides like getting a loan done, right? There's a lot of people that can just get a loan done and you do it without messing it up, right? There's plenty of people that can do that. There's plenty of people that do it poorly,
Yep.
right? but yeah, like delivering value. I never had a system or a way to do that prior to being here. And like, you mentioned like, pouring into people, giving them something that can help their client get an offer accepted when it otherwise wouldn't have. That puts money in somebody's pocket, right? Or helping them with social media content so they can grow their brand, right? Like we want to grow these things together, and that's all value add stuff. And it's like it's systematized, and like we're constantly
Improving it.
Yeah, adjusting it and improving it. Like not everything's perfect, but it's a great way to be able to build relationships.
If you are constantly adjusting and improving, you're trying to get better. If you do not stop, you will not fail. As long as you're constantly making improvements. And that's what we're doing is 1% better each day.
Yeah.
And even if, and even just drag that out, extrapolate it, I think this is the word, but I don't even know how you say it, is take it to a week. You get 1% better each week. Because you might not win every day, but you for sure should be able to win every week.
Yeah.
There's no reason you cannot do that. And even if you don't win every day, maybe one thing that happens, you should be able to counter that with a few things that you do. I love writing down 3 things I need to do today to make it a success. And then just get those done. And there's no questions of whether you get them done or not. You just have to get them done, and that will compound over time.
Yep.
Weekends as well, because you have to include that into 7 days, because if you lose the 2 weekends plus one of the 5 of the week, you're like 55%, which isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
So we talk about adding value, right? Let's talk about supporting our business partners. What are some of the things we do and that you've started doing and now consistently hammer out that helps you support your business partners?
One of the recent, just like top of mind recently, and I put up a post about this, and like I was on a call with an agent partner yesterday, and we sat down with him together, and we were doing business planning for 2026. And one of his things is like, I want to tap into my sphere of influence more, right? So he had a good year last year, but he was like, I feel like I'm really lacking there, and I really want to do it, but it's also like a big challenge of mine. So this is something that I learned when I came here, is that we have like a very like simple framework, but it's like simple, repeatable, effective of a sales process, and like how can you prospect your sphere of influence. And we touched on it a little bit, but like building that rapport, right? Giving them something of value, inviting them to something. Like you got an event coming, inviting them to something, networking where they can meet somebody else that's going to help their business. That is a value add. And as long as you're doing those things, asking for the business, but even before that, if somebody refers you a deal, just like giving them a call. Like if I'm an agent and my friend refers me a listing, it's like, hey, just want to let you know, like I just listed Jim and Jen's house. I just want to thank you so much for sending them that way. That means the world to people. The simple follow-up and just thanking somebody for thinking of you. So he implemented this, right? Long story short, he implemented this at the beginning of January, has gotten 6 leads in 3 weeks from his sphere of influence. And props to him for putting in the work, because like you gotta like make the calls, do the outreach. It takes work, but ton of results in 3 weeks by implementing that simple strategy.
I absolutely love it. I'm about to lock in and just how to deliver this. So build rapport, give something of value, invite them to something, go over the lead pipeline, and AFB, ask for business.
Yeah.
Now, how do you do it is so important, right? Build rapport is you're calling your friends, family, sphere of influence, past clients. How's the house treating you? How do you like the town? How's the family? Any new additions to the family?
Yeah.
How is everybody doing well? How's work going? How's school going?
Yeah.
How's your nieces, nephews, grandparents? Like, just ask questions, take notes, write them down, put them in your CRM, put tasks to follow up so you could check in.
Yeah.
I had a client I spoke with 6 months ago. He's getting married in April. I put it in my CRM, and I will follow up in March. Hey, good luck. I got a buddy down in Florida getting married February 5th, right? it's not like slimy or salesy to do these things. It's actually like you aren't going to remember it, so put it in and then touch base with your buddies.
Yeah.
He's getting married February 5th. I'm going to touch base that Thursday. Hey, good luck this weekend. Don't fuck up.
Remember the vows.
Yeah. So that's the building rapport piece. You need to write things down and use your CRM to remember to touch base with people. Every time you get off a phone call with someone, you should have a follow-up task every single time, because otherwise you're not listening on the phone conversation. You're not listening to what they're saying.
Yeah.
Then give them something of value. So like, what do I give of value? There's so many things you can give value. If they live in a town, you give them a market update. Here's what's going on with home, as a real estate agent. Here's what's going on with home prices in the town.
Yep.
You could use ChatGPT at this point. What new news is going on in Cheshire, Connecticut, in Trumbull, Connecticut, in Fairfield, Connecticut? And then send them an article. Hey, did you see this with what's going on? Right?
Yeah.
The turf field is going to cost $3 million. Who's running that racketeering scam? Like whatever the case is. Give them something of value and a reason to touch base, right? Now, it could be a home value report. You could touch base annually and say, hey, just wanted to let you know, I saw your home is roughly worth this. You have this much money in equity. If you're thinking about moving or you need more space, you want to downsize, let me know and I'd be happy to walk you through the next steps and the options. If you're thinking about buying an investment property, if you're thinking about tapping into your home equity, if you have any renovations coming up, let me know.
Yeah.
Now, a great way to do this is you record video content like this, podcast, content days. You shoot the video, have it professionally edited, post it on social media. You take the video on social media, you send it to your client or your sphere of influence and say, hey, I created this video. I thought it might be helpful for you.
Yeah.
That's a way to do it. Then with the events, now the reason we do so many events is because you get to invite someone to something. You get to call them, hey, I'm inviting you to dinner Saturday night with all of our business partners from quarter 4. We're gonna have like 25, 30 people. It's gonna be definitely intimate. I'm serving prime New York steaks. Vito's grilling them up himself and salting it like salt. And we'd love to have you because you're gonna be able to collaborate with other top people doing business in the industry, right? Hey, we're hosting a CE class going over X, Y, and Z that you'll be able to get your credits so that you don't need to go listen to someone boring speak, right? You're gonna get us.
Yeah.
There's so many events that you can host. It could be a home buyer seminar. It could be just a get together with friends. We do a steak dinner, 70 guys we had over. Like, who doesn't like that? Because you go, you meet people, build your network.
Yep.
You get to invite them to an event. Then you see them at the event. That's huge. That's where you actually build the relationship, the rapport. Now you have large events you could do. Then you have small, intimate events. Hosting a 70-person dinner versus a 8-person dinner is very different in the connection. We did cigars last night at the Owl Shop. We had like 24 people. I was able to connect with probably 6 to 7, and everyone else was able to intermingle. Vito was there, he connected. But so some of those guys I'd love to see again on a smaller, intimate scale. Then you get a chance to follow up. So this morning, I'm in the sauna with Vito. He's texting everyone from last night. Great to see you. Was great catching up on XYZ. We got to follow up on X, this. Yeah. And the events, you invite them, you see them, you follow up. You follow up whether they went or not. You send out an invite, you get a chance to say, hey, we missed you. Here's some photos of the event or a video recap. We'll hope to catch you at the next one.
Yeah.
And those, I know I'm just going right now. I'm not giving a chance.
You're good.
All of those things right there are touch points to build a relationship.
Yeah.
And you're delivering value along the way. All of those things like you talk about. Value like build rapport, give them something to just start the conversation, invite them to an event, and then it gives you the opportunity to ask for business at that point in time.
Yeah. Yeah. How can you create that opportunity by delivering value? 100%. And like the build rapport thing of you said, the taking notes when you're talking to somebody or putting it in the CRM. And like, why do you want to build rapport? It's not just to like say, hey, how are you? You might find out something you can help with, which is a value add. You're trying to help them, whether it be like financially or real estate, which are obviously attached, but even like life, right? Life things. Like if there's something that you can help deliver value, like that person's always going to keep you in mind for business purposes because you're pouring into them and building that relationship.
I was talking to a buddy yesterday. He's an agent up in Central Connecticut, and we were talking about one of the businesses he owns, and his brother came up, and his brother bought a home like a year ago, and his rate was kind of high, and cash flow was kind of tight, an opportunity to refinance, want to see if it makes sense, and then his fiance's in college or like post-grad school, and I said, dude, your best bet is to tell them to get rid of the girlfriend and save all the money for student loans. But if you want help with the refinance to lower the bills, I'll do that too. And he said, no, he's keeping the fiance. but I'll connect you about the refinance. I said, listen, not all my advice is good, but my mortgage stuff's decent.
Yeah.
So if you have the conversation, you check in on people, there are opportunities to help. And not enough salespeople in the mortgage business call past clients. Mm-hmm. And in general, I think you need to really have your calendar built out, which we've done this year. And each week we're looking at it and adjusting it to get better, right? We're 3 weeks, this is the third week, to say, how did the last week go and what can we do better?
Yeah.
And I like what you said earlier, should be done day by day. But at this point in time, we haven't gotten there yet. Let's talk about our sales process, right? Because we deliver a ton of value through building their business, through helping agent partners with like, here's things that have value. But our actual sales process delivers value.
Yeah. A huge component of it is education and communication. Mm-hmm. And like those are really broad terms, right? So you have to chunk down on those terms. Like what is real education that's going to help the client get to where they need to go, right? AKA get an offer accepted and close on a home. And then also communication-wise, what specifically does good communication look like? So in our sales process, like to touch on some of those things is the education piece is not just making sure that clients or borrowers know their numbers of like monthly payment, estimated cash to close assets. I mean, that's important, right? They need to know that. That's going to be super helpful for when they're shopping. But it's how do we help separate their offers from others? Like in Connecticut, we still have a ton of demand and not enough supply, right? So it's still a competitive market. So how do we help our clients' offers stand out? Right? How do we help create leverage for them? All right, and that's educating them on things like appraisal gap strategies that doesn't break the bank, right? Where traditionally, if the home under appraises by, let's just say 10 grand, traditionally like you're gonna have, as the borrower, you're gonna have to come up with that $10,000. Or the agent will negotiate with the seller and maybe you'll meet somewhere halfway, let's call it cut in half, but it's still an extra 5 grand. Where there's a strategy that we can implement where the borrower can cover that $10,000 if they need to, and all that changes is their monthly payment slightly changes because it's a mortgage, a PMI, a mortgage insurance adjustment. $50 to $100 rather than 5 to 10 grand or 20 grand.
Or more sometimes.
Yeah.
Or 40, 50,000.
Yeah, or more. So that gets built into their offer, but you got to make sure that they understand how it works. And then at the same time, communicating with the agent to see, hey, like, what's the appropriate amount? What's gonna like make sense in that offer? So it's a team effort, and like chunking down on the specifics. One, like making sure the client understands what is being implemented and how it helps create leverage, but then how the agent can deliver it, the real estate agent can deliver it to the listing agent in a way that they fully understand it. Because believe it or not, some people would see that and not have any idea like what it means. Oh, are they not doing an appraisal? Are they doing an appraisal? Like there's a lot of, not unfortunately, but like there's part-time agents, right, that don't have a lot of transactions under their belt. So if they don't see the value in what's in that offer, they might just be like, here's the highest price. Like my client's just gonna take the highest offer amount, which money talks. And then the second piece is something like educating borrowers on waiving a mortgage contingency, but doing it safely. Doing it so if something does change in their loan, they're not stuck in with losing their earnest money deposit. We can adjust the loan where they can still qualify. Worst case scenario, that's worst case. We can still adjust the loan, and maybe the loan terms change, but they're not going to lose that earnest money deposit. So not just doing it with anybody, but educating them on what it means. Here's the upsides, here's the potential downsides, and implementing it if it's a good fit.
That is spot on. Education equals confidence. And a home buyer's first thing when they're buying a home is, what is my monthly payment going to be? How much money am I going to need for the down payment and closing costs? And what price point should I be looking? Those are the three main questions home buyers have when they're looking to buy a home. Then value add to home buyers and our agent partners. In a seller's market like it is today, we need to deliver education around how to get your offer accepted.
Yeah.
When it's a buyer's market, when there's a ton of supply and people are nervous to buy, it's why is now a time to buy? What's the benefit of owning a home long term? Appreciation, wealth gain, having your own space, tax benefits. Then you need to shift the focus of not like as much how to get your offer accepted, because you could throw spaghetti at the wall and it'll stick.
Yeah.
Is why you should be buying today
Yeah.
and not wait 3 to 5 years. And that's where you look at the amount of rent you pay, net worth over time, principal pay down, etc.
Yeah. And your net, right? Your net monthly payment from having a mortgage versus your rent, right? If like a big thing you're like, should I rent or should I own? Well, like, what is your net mortgage payment? Like, because you're paying $3,000, but the net is going to be less than that. You have the tax benefits.
Yeah, the SALT tax got raised from 10 grand to 40, so you get interest deduction. You get the principal pay down.
Yep. Forced savings plan, essentially.
Correct. So you get taxes, insurance, and interest, but the interest is tax deductible.
Yeah. So your net monthly payment's actually lower than that $3,000, and it's probably lower than what you're paying in rent, and you're building wealth through it, right? You're preserving wealth, right? Owning a primary home, I mean, you can use it, tap into the equity to build wealth, but I think it's a big preserver of wealth.
Yeah.
Where you're buying investment properties, 2 to 4 units, 5 units, et cetera. Like, I think that's more like building up the wealth, but a primary home, preserving of wealth, I think would be a good term.
I wrote down appraisal gap, 100%. Our pre-underwrites, doing a full scrub, application, credit review, income asset review, so that the borrower knows worst case scenario, here's how you're going to get approved.
Yeah.
Best case scenario, it's going to make your offer stronger. And understanding the downside plus why we're doing it, you have to educate them so they're on board. If they're educated, they're on board, they're more confident, they're going to be more aggressive putting offers in, which means they're going to, if you're an agent showing homes, you're not going to have to show them 30 homes because their offer sucks. You're going to show them 3, they're going to be super aggressive, they're going to get a deal under contract. You just saved hours upon hours because your client was educated and ready to make a move.
Yeah.
That's why education is so important, and working with the right lender who's diving deep into the details so the buyer is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
Calling listing agents is so important as a lender. We tell every single agent we work with to CC us on an email when an offer goes out. Because one, you don't know if we have a really good relationship with that agent, right? We need to know when an offer goes out, because if one of my buddies is the listing agent, I can guarantee that there's a good chance we're gonna get the deal. Or if we have a working relationship with someone, they might give us information that'll help us structure an offer based off of timeline, based off of contingencies, outside of price. So it's so important if you're a buyer's agent to CC your lender on every single offer that goes out, and your lender better be calling the listing agent, because that we've gotten deals accepted because of that. And again, if you get a deal accepted, you don't have to show more homes. And your client isn't gonna be disappointed, like, oh, my agent's not helping me get an accepted offer. Like, no, like 1, 2, 3 offers out, like you're under contract, you're gonna be in a home.
Yeah.
So you need to call the listing agent, you need to deliver the education value component, like you said, of packaging up the offer and making sure they understand it. Because that could be very, the difference between getting a deal done and not getting a deal done.
Yeah.
Our business last year, when we talk about how to get offers accepted, we've driven a lot of opportunity and we've had great success helping our clients get into homes that they otherwise could not get into or would have taken them a lot longer to buy, and our agent partners to deliver value to their clients to actually help them with the process of buying and selling through lending our own money, our cash offer, and bridge loans.
Yeah.
You've had a few of those.
Yeah.
Do you want to give some examples of how you've helped clients?
It's been like transformative for business purposes, being able to offer something like that. Helping people bridge the gap from when whether they're step up buyers or step down, but like they need to sell that home in order to buy the next one, and being able to turn them into a full cash buyer versus buying with a Hubbard clause right? That has gotten people's offers accepted that would, months ago, that would still be shopping today, right? Like, so quick example, had a couple that had a bunch of equity in their home, were shopping with a Hubbard clause, placing offers, and they were looking in a fairly competitive market, shoreline town. We're not having any luck because, especially in the shoreline, there's even less inventory. And they were not having any luck with the Hubbard clause. We transitioned to making them a full cash buyer, and the next offer that they put in, they got, and it was actually under list price because they were a cash offer that we were able to use our cash offer program, no mortgage contingency, no appraisal contingency, and they got the home for below market value. The appraisal happened, so they bought it below list, and they bought it even below the appraised value. So they walked in with extra equity instantly, which would not have happened with a regular offer where they would have had to offer more money. So saving them money and building them equity right away.
Huge.
Yeah.
That has definitely changed our business. And I remember talking to my dad about selling all of his retirement stock, and he was like, the hell's wrong with you?
You're crazy.
And I'm like, we have to do it.
Yeah.
And it for sure changed our business, and moving forward, it will continue to compound. And the sell to buy program is so important because you could use a Hubbard, number one, but sellers don't want to accept a Hubbard clause because then they need to wait for you to sell their home. So instead of closing in 7 days with our cash offer program, they could be waiting 45 to 90 days.
Yeah.
They don't want to wait if their timeline doesn't work for that, and there's no guarantee. Sellers want certainty of closing, close on their timeline and price.
Yeah.
So if you can't give certainty of closing and timeline, they don't want it. The other option is you could sell your house and rent it back from a buyer. Or you could sell your house and do an extended closing for 90 days and then go look for a home in that 90-day period. The problem is the home you want might not come up in that 90-day period. What do? You have to go rent. You have to move. You have to move out of your house, go rent something or move in with family, and then move again when you find a home. Or if you do the rent back, not all the buyers are going to want to rent the home back. They want to move in right away. So that shrinks your buyer pool, which means you're going to get less money for your home. Then, if you actually use our cash offer, you move out into the house and then you want to sell your home, it gives you time to clean your house out, to do renovations, to stage it correctly. You're not in the house worrying about people coming through for an open house. You're not worried about how am I going to paint all the walls to get more money. That is a huge value, and we've done about 40 of them, probably 35 and another 5 investment bridge in the last 7 months. And it helps, and it makes it less stressful. You come in, you sign 3 documents, and you're done. Versus, imagine trying to piece that together; it'd be a nightmare.
Yeah.
And attorneys call us, and they're like, "Hey, there's no docs." Like, yeah, they already signed it, and they're ready to rock and roll. We'll wire the funds tomorrow.
Yep.
How do you build and maintain agent trust?
I would say the 2 biggest things are consistent communication, and even if that means over communicating, rather over communicate than under. And setting proper expectations up front, right? But we touched on this earlier. What does communication actually look like? Because if you ask any real estate agent, what do you want in a good lending partner?
Or the most important thing when you work with a lender?
And a lot of times just the automated response, I feel like, is communication. Okay, well, what does that mean to you, right? And here's how we deliver that, right? So for example, on an active deal, after somebody goes under contract, every Tuesday, right, it is in my calendar, it says Tuesday updates. We are calling the buyer, the buyer's agent, the listing agent, if we're at the point, attorney, right? And we're updating all parties on where we're at in the loan process, right? So everybody knows what's going on. It can save both of the agents' time on both buy and sell side, because a lot of times sellers are like, what's going on? I don't hear anything. When people don't hear anything, they get nervous. So keeping that is what at one of our forms of communication looks like chunking it down. And obviously there's others, but that's a big one. And people love it. I get so many compliments on it. And whether I've gone through transactions where I never speak with usually the listing agent even once, but I still call, I leave a message, I send a text, and then after the transaction I'll follow up with them, and they're like, I love your updates. Thank you so much. It's they're busy, right? I mean, can they get back to us and send me a quick text? Sure. But it's whatever. They, at the end of the day, it helped them in their business. And then setting proper expectations up front is just like, hey, if you have a borrower that you know is just being maybe slow, right, and like getting you documents and you're following up and they're sending the wrong stuff. It happens. It's part of the business. Not ignoring that, as small as it might look, not ignoring that and just letting that referral partner know. Like, hey, here's what's going on. We're going to get there. It's just going to take a little bit longer. Especially if they've worked with us in the past, things usually happen pretty quickly. But I'd rather communicate that and that expectation of, hey, I know this is how we've previously done it, but this is what's going on. This is what we're doing to try to move it along and correct it. And then they might be able to help, right? Maybe their relationship is further along with that person, and a call from them or a text from them, hey, you need to get stuff in to Nick, or you need to get stuff in to Gaetano if you want to see this home on Friday.
Yeah.
Right? So I would say those two things are the biggest thing.
Spot on. The updates to listing agents, you need to understand where they're coming from, because they have a seller that is selling their home, probably buying another home in another stressful situation, and might be putting pressure on the listing agent. So if you could deliver proactive updates, they then have something to go to their seller with, which they appreciate, and like you said, it helps their business. That's massive. And even if a deal closes, it is so important. You still might break the trust if you aren't delivering proactive communication. You need to let them know, hey, we're trying to get the borrower to sign disclosures. Can you help reach out to push things along? You have to let them know that this might delay the closing.
Yeah.
That, hey, if you're doing a loan and one of the requirements is one of the, what's the market rent on one of the units going to be? Hey, by the way, this is an outstanding item. We don't know yet. We're basing it at X amount of dollars. If it comes in lower, we will have to adjust things.
Yeah.
Proactive communication to see here's where things might go wrong and what our plan will be is so important. So important. You have to have a good relationship to be able to deliver that too.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to have that tough conversation, because the tough conversations is what separates good from great.
Yeah.
What does feedback look like from me to you?
Always on the positive side, even if something went wrong, right? It's, okay, so here's what happened. Here's how you approached it. What if you approached it like this? Right? Just getting me, right, in this case, to think about it a little bit differently, right? Different perspective, which that's how you learn. I mean, I've had, if we go back to like sports career, you have all different like types of coaches that give feedback in different ways, right? But I think the best way is like, if I mess something up, like I know I messed something up. Like I'm an adult, like and one, it eats at me. It drives me nuts. Like, and it's like mistakes happen, but it just, I know in that case I maybe let somebody down, which like I don't like. But just looking at it from like a different lens is what you're really helpful with, and Vito as well, on like his side of the business, is looking at it through a different lens, taking a different approach, so then if you run into it next time, that adjustment's made.
So I don't know where I learned it, but I remember 3 years ago, 2 to 3 years ago, maybe even as little as 18 months ago, something would come up and Vito would be like, what the fuck? To like the person. Like, why didn't you do this? I said, V, to lead, you have to take a step back, and you're not telling someone that they already knew, like you said, they know they screwed up. And mistakes are going to happen. It's okay to make mistakes. We just don't want them to happen again.
Yeah.
You want to frame it and say, hey, I know that this happened. Just walk me through. What were you thinking, how you handled it? Do you think, what if you did it this way? How do you think the outcome would have been different?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I have an example in my head recently. Like, you had a scheduled call at 2 p.m. This is as simple as it gets. With an agent and a client, right? They say yes. Okay. You didn't hear from the agent or the client at 2 p.m., right? He says, no. So what'd you do? I didn't do anything. I said, well, do you think you handled it the best way? Because now I'm getting a call at 2:45 saying, what the F? I'm not hearing from this person, yada, yada. I said, okay. So let's say that you had to redo this, right? I said, what would you do differently if you do not hear from that person by 2:05? I would have called them. I said, great. That's exactly what you should have done. I'm glad we came to the conclusion. I'm not mad at you, but don't let it happen again because they think it looks sloppy.
Yeah.
And you can't rely on somebody else to reach out to you. You need to be the one pushing the ball forward and show high agency determination that you want to get things done. And what you should do right now is probably call them up and reschedule and see if they're free the rest of the day.
Yeah.
And that's how you deliver the feedback where it's not just down their throat, what the F's wrong with you. It's like, hey, this is what you could probably do differently. Or think about it this way. They come to you with an idea. It's like, I don't really know in my head if that's going to work. Think about it this way.
Yeah.
And that's how you coach people. And that's how you become a better leader, among a lot of other things. So that one way to deliver feedback.
Asking the questions so somebody can figure it out together, right? But like you ask a lot of questions of like, hey, what about if you did this? Instead of just telling, here's what you need to do. And right, like sometimes it's just time sensitive, like get to the point and then we can discuss the why
Later.
after. But I think that asking the questions to correct something so somebody can almost figure it out themselves, like your help leading them in that direction, that's gonna stick with them, and they're much less likely to make that mistake again, and this is from like firsthand experience, than if you're just to tell them what they should have done and what they shouldn't have done. Because that's not them figuring anything out or learning from it.
If you tell them what to do, they will not develop. And the whole goal of running a business and growing in life is you create other leaders. You turn people into other leaders. And if you do everything yourself or jump in and then do it, which might be the better short-term fix within that day, you will get people come to you to fix those problems instead of, wait, what should I do here, and think about it and how to grow over time.
Yeah.
So I reinforce that idea. Andy Frisella is a great podcast, The Real AF, and it's an awesome podcast. He's an entrepreneur down in St. Louis. He crushes it. And just listening to him, usually like in the mornings if I'm on a run, I'm at the gym on the bike, even just lifting weights, I listen to that because it reinforces what I need to be doing to be a better leader. You listen, your mentor does not need to be the person that, is in front of you, that's your coach at baseball, that's like works at the same companies. You could be people that like you just listen to and say, you know what, that's a really good thing. I need to implement that.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. And that's what I'm, is you continue to grow, develop, going to be bringing on an assistant soon. Those are the kind of things that you're going to have conversations with to help others develop too.
Yep. Yeah.
How do you think your thinking's evolved about the mortgage business and about wealth creation and just life in general being at AFC?
A lot. If I were to break it down, I guess into three things from the mortgage side of things, very simply put, the value of relationships and building them.
Yep.
And all the tools to be able to do that.
Since being at AFC, how have you thought differently about the mortgage business, wealth creation, and life in general, and personal development?
Yeah. Starting with mortgage, right, is simply put, right, and there's a lot of nuance within this, but the value of building relationships and then going deeper with those relationships. I would say like that is one of the biggest like mindset shifts and how that can transform your business. And having all the tools to be able to build those relationships and deliver value. Right? It's a skill to be able to do that. And that was a skill that I've learned over the last year and a half being here, kind of going from like, if we're talking like video games, I was like a 50% speed, like 95% speed.
Yeah.
Or 90. I still have some growth.
Bro, you were a 25 and you're a 60 now.
Okay.
To be honest, right? And I'm like a 75 probably. We have a lot, and that might be generous. Because if you're a 95, that means you don't have much room to grow.
You're right.
You've been doing this 4 years. I've been doing it 6.
Yeah.
We're probably both. I'm probably a 55, 60, and you're like a 40. And you were like a 10.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of growth, but the good news is there's still a lot of room to grow.
Yeah.
For sure.
A lot more room till we get to the ceiling.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we're only going to get better at it. That's important too.
Yeah.
We're always refining. We want to get better.
That's one piece that I love about the mortgage industry is, and it's a little like sidetrack here, but I was talking to Tiani, and
Who, by the way, didn't even come up in this podcast, and I had her written down because you met right after CCSU, right? Or at CCSU?
No, after.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
She's your longtime girlfriend.
We're gonna have to publish this thing after.
Yeah.
But we were talking the other day about just like work or whatever, and she's saying, "Oh, you like what you do," and I was like, "I do like what I do. It's really challenging sometimes. It's stressful sometimes. Also really rewarding, right? Getting to help people and help them with a huge thing.
Yeah.
But then monetarily also, right? And I do like what I do, but what I love even more about it is it requires you to build skills. Grow as a person, but also as like a professional. If you don't continue to build your skills and like refine them and get better, you're not going to make it long term.
Yeah.
You might have a couple good years, and then you're just going to stay stagnant or go in the other direction. So that is the piece I love about it.
Before we end there, you're at the point now where you got the sales skills, and they're still going to get better.
Yeah.
Now it's going to go to like building the team and managing other people, and not other LOs yet, but a personal assistant in your loan partner, and how can you develop that? And that's going to be the next phase to take you from 15 million to 25.
Yeah.
Right, and we didn't even talk income. Your income 3x'd in 25.
Yeah.
Versus 24. And I think it's going to go up at least 50% this year if we just keep doing what we're doing.
Yeah.
So you have a great fucking record ahead of you, which actually a great track for where we're going, brings us into wealth creation. Has anything changed or your mindset around wealth creation since coming here?
Yeah. I mean, aside from just having more funds to invest in whatever vehicle, right? Obviously, that's a big piece of it.
It's important because if your expenses are 50 grand a year and you make 80, after taxes you don't have any money to invest.
Yeah.
If you make 250, all of a sudden you go from investing 0 to investing 120, 10 grand a month. Big difference.
Yeah. So
and your mindset shifts. It goes from just surviving to like, wait, I could start accumulating and creating.
Yeah, exactly. So starting to accumulate and invest and see compounding returns on those investments.
You're investing in bridge loans here, making great returns, better than anywhere else.
Yep.
And now starting to look at real estate.
Yeah.
Investment opportunities.
Yep. And being around other people that are doing what I want to do from like a wealth creation standpoint. And you, Vito, your dad, right? Your mom.
Yeah, more my mom. Than
Yeah,
my dad. Yeah.
who was talking to.
It's actually 100% my mom.
the other night. There's no like shortcuts in anything in life and business, whatever. But if there was ever one, and I think Alex Hormozy said this, and I'm a big fan of it. The only like shortcut is getting information or having guidance on something that somebody else has done and done successfully that you haven't done but that you're trying to do, because it cuts your learning curve by so much and reduces the amount of mistakes that you're going to make. You're still going to make mistakes, still going to learn things, but it cuts that down tenfold.
Yeah.
Right? Like we had a conversation about buying investment properties, and I was thinking about it this way. And like, you have a portfolio of investment properties that on each one you've learned things from, and you were able to like, hey, what if you think about it this way? I'm like, wow, long term that makes so much more sense. On the life, because you would ask me like mortgage, wealth creation, life, doubling down on the belief of like who you surround yourself with helps you just become a better person in life too, right? Like you're active, Vito's active, Trev active, like going to the gym, staying in shape, right? And I love that stuff. Like I lived in gyms for years and I love it. But being around other people that push you to get better just because like they're walking the walk, not just talking the talk. It's like you want to be a part of that, right? And it's like it's not even from like I want to compete with you in it. It's like I want to grow together in it, not just in business but in life.
That's huge, and I think you surround yourself with I say guys. It really is guys, to be honest. It is guys. You're not surrounding yourself with women. I'm not going to hang out with women and talking about where I'm going to be in 10 years. Unfortunately, it's not. It's completely separate. I think guys need to hang around with guys, and you need to build something, and you need to be around people that have a vision that want to build. And Buddy Kev Coaches came on the podcast, and I wrote down where you live, what you do, who you marry in your circle. The 4 things. He is an unbelievable guy, runs a gym, in shape, always thinking long term that you want to surround yourself with. And where you live and the proximity you have to those people is so important too. Because if you're around that, you want to get better. You want to elevate. And your friend cycle, like your friends will always rinse every few years if you're getting better. Not a bad thing. It's not like you're not going to be friends with them. It's just your priorities and their priorities are not the same anymore. And you want to just keep developing and getting better, right? And listen, I don't mind going to, I used to go to dive bars all the time. I don't drink anymore, but like I'm not going to dive bars, you know? Like I'm not going to Michelin star every night, but like I want to hopefully one day, you know, take a helicopter to work, you know, like that's what I want to do. So you have to do certain things to get to that point. And if you surround yourself with the right people, they have those aspirations too, right? They want to build an investment portfolio. They want to build a business. They want to have hands in multiple things. You will get there. And I think when you talk about people at AFC and as we keep growing, I have high standards. I want great things. I want great things for the people I surround myself with. And we want people around that have those same thoughts and beliefs. We don't want people that are just getting by, that are just writing a couple loans, that are just looking to, you know, do 5 to 10 million a year and be happy with making 100 grand. That's not going to cut it. Long term, I want guys that want to build, that want something great, that want to have a beach house on the water. They want to have their home that they actually live in the middle of the state or wherever, you know, that they have, that they could go on nice vacations, that they could take time off if they want. Like that's what we're trying to build. You surround yourself with people like that. Your conversations aren't about, I don't even know what they'd be, girls drinking and like sports. I watch sports in 5 years. You know, like I didn't even know who the quarterback of my favorite football team was. And I don't even follow it anymore. But they turn into wealth building, skill building, long-term vision, right? What can we be doing? How can we collaborate to generate opportunities? So those are the big things.
And it helps keep you like in that pocket, right? Like very few people get anywhere alone, right? And that's why I like being in the office. I'm not in the office every day, right? But I like being in the office to surround myself with people that are going in the same direction that I want to go. And the best part about it is like in your case, like ahead of me. But like that is the direction I want to go, whether it be mortgages, wealth creation, being around that and just being in proximity to it makes you want to do it even more. You don't feel like you're in it alone. It's hard. It's hard to do things alone.
Very hard. And we talked about doing a dinner with our buddies that are all in business, building wealth. We got our business partner dinner this Saturday, and I was thinking we're going to do once a quarter our buddies in business. I'm thinking, now that I think about it, we should do it like every 2 months out of the 3, because some people won't be able to make it, but those are the people that want to come together once a month and just brainstorm like, hey, here's what we do and here's what we got going on, here's the problems we're looking at, here's what opportunities we see. And you become friends with people that are all building businesses. I make a call up, dude, I got this thing, I need 150 grand. Like, all right, no problem, right? And that's like, it's like a lot of money now, but like one day it'll be like, dude, I need $1.5 million. Like, okay, you know? And that's the point I want to get to.
But that's because it was 10 years of you guys building together.
Correct.
Even it could be totally different businesses, right?
Yeah.
But like, businesses have business problems, right? And you know, your solution can be the same for them, just in their world. Right? And that's the value of like building those relationships over a long period of time and like going deeper with them.
Yeah. I think we did a great job today of going over borrowers, how we educate them. If they want to feel supported throughout the process, here's what we need to do, right? We're the guys that you want to work with, our company. Got a great team, great Diana's unbelievable. Veronica does a great job. Barb, Karen, everybody here is just focused on how can we provide value to our clients. If you're an agent, here's how we want to support you and help you grow your business.
Yeah.
And if you're a LO or an aspiring LO, or you're looking to get into sales, you just want to be better. If you're in college, like I want to be around guys that are doing it. We want those kind of people because energy feeds on energy. You come into the office on a Monday, you know that like it's like ready to rock and roll. No breakfast, a coffee from Blasco is like ready to run to the wall. Like that feeds upon itself.
It is. It's awesome energy. And like on the LO piece, right? You posted something the other day. I don't remember what the specifics around the post were, but it was talking about like we encourage, like from a leadership standpoint, encourage the LOs here at AFC to think outside the box a little bit. Be creative. I don't know if you knew this, but before I got here, I never did any loan outside of conventional, FHA, maybe like one VA. Never. Never did DSCR loan, never did any sort of creative financing, never did bank statement loan, like because it wasn't encouraged to think that way. And here it is, and it's opened up so many doors for me. And I've had to learn a lot because you learn by doing, especially in this business. But I wouldn't say half of my business, but at least a quarter of it is that. That is a quarter of business I would not have had otherwise, and then that helps feed the other business that is more volume in terms of like transactions of that type, of like conventional, FHA.
You just did the cash offer, then you do the refinance conventional. Boom, double hit.
Yeah.
To help a client. And I didn't think about this. I need to do a better job of training, but we do have a training next week on the books to go over, I think, our bridge loans, right? And I've always been interested in creative financing, structuring. I used to do it a lot in college, and I worked a year after doing, the bond sales, and it wasn't as much there. But I always thought, I look at a capital stack, and this could be a whole nother podcast, but the capital stack is your senior debt, which is like a regular conventional loan,
okay,
or it's really first lien position. Then after that, you might have a second lien position, right, which is subordinate to the first, meaning if there's a default, first gets paid. If there's any proceeds, the second gets paid. Then after that, you might have like mezzanine, which is like higher leverage. It's riskier. It's like it's high rates, 15, 20%, a few points, but it's small. It might only be like 10% of the stack. So you might get a first lien mortgage at 65%. You might get a second lien mortgage for 15%. You might get a mezz piece for 10. 65 plus 15 is 80. Mezz 10, that means the borrower's got to come up with 10%. The borrower might only bring 5% of their own money and get 5% from someone else. So my long-term thought, as we start doing like more fix and flip, as we start doing more creative financing, structuring, new construction, is I want to give first lien, second lien, mezz, and the equity, have the borrower bring a little piece, depending on how well we know them, and just fund the whole capital stack. And now all of a sudden, this guy, instead of having to go to somewhere else and bring 20%, 25%, he comes to us, he brings 5% down.
Or 3 to 4 different places for all the different things.
Yeah. And we can, we'll give him the 5 equity, we'll give him the mezz, we'll give him the second and first, and then he doesn't have to go anywhere else.
Yeah.
Right? And instead of having to bring a capital partner in for equity and pay them 50% of the profits, I just had this conversation with a buddy up in the Boston area. It's cheaper to do it with us.
Yeah.
And it's a one-stop shop. And you don't have to look for all these places. Now all of a sudden you get a guy as a loan officer you have a great relationship with, he's vetted, he's done projects, comes here, you're able to do all these loans for him, and then he's gonna sell 3 townhomes and you're gonna be the preferred lender and hopefully get 1 to 2 loans on that.
Yeah.
And it opens up opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah, the different opportunities through like creative finance or other non-traditional stuff. It was like, it wasn't even something that I came here and we just like trained on. It was just, I saw all the other people here doing it and I'm like, why have I not been doing this? Right? And it was just like, by being around it, I was encouraged to do it, and then I did it and I learned more and I marketed it and I used it to provide value to help people solve problems. What's that saying? It's like the size of your bank account is directly correlated with the sizes of the problems you can solve. And like, that's what AFC, like when I came here, encouraged me to do to help grow my book of business.
Damn. I'm proud of you. We're fucking building. Proud of Vito. I'm proud of Trev. We're going to keep building, and we're literally in the first inning.
Thanks for having me on, bro.
Great time, bro.
Great time.
Shano, thank you, bro. Thank you, Shano.